welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a lot more chill compared to my last video, a lot less editing and more of a draw with me whilst I casually chat sort of vibe. I just want to thank everyone who watched my last video, my ladybug / marionette redesign. It means so much to me that so many of you have watched it and the feedback has been really great. It means so much to me that many people have watched this video, a video that's took me a really long time to work on and has given me the confidence to work on more YouTube videos. So there's no stopping me now. You're stuck with me now. I wanted to draw more miraculous characters, but more of like background characters / secondary characters. Not all of them, just ones that I felt like drawing in the moment, you know what I mean? The versions of these characters that I'm drawing are part of mine and my siblings' AU that we're currently writing / creating together. It's just a little project that we've been doing for a while because, like most people in the fandom, we really don't like how the story has gone in Miraculous. We love the premise, just can't stand how the story's been going. So we're doing our own little twist on it. And I thought whilst I'm drawing these characters, I can explain maybe a little bit of the plot and some of the ideas behind some of the characters that we've had. I used a lot of references that I found on Pinterest. I'll have my Pinterest link down below and you'll be able to see that I have lots of different boards for each of the Miraculous characters. And I've also got a reference board as well that you are more than welcome to have a look at. I will put up the references that I use up on screen, and if I can I will put up the artist's name and tag if I can find it. I wanted to do a little warm-up sketch first of our favourite girl, Marinette, and a new character being introduced into our AU, her little cat, Balbun, or Beans as she likes to call him. We decided to give Mary in our AU her own pet cat because we thought it'd be quite funny that her superhero partner is a cat-themed superhero, and maybe Balbun doesn't really like Cat Noir, or he doesn't like Adrian or something like that until later on. Maybe it's because he can smell plague on him or something like that. That'd be quite funny. Balbun really likes Tiki and they're like a little friendship duo, which we thought would be really cute. Yeah, that's our idea behind Mary having her own cat. It could lead into so many other new possibilities, cute little interactions between her, Tiki, Balbun, or her, Adrian, and Balbun. It could be funny. Just a cute little idea that we had, but I think Balbun's going to stay. Okay, so this next pose just screamed Cat Noir to me. I saw the pose and I thought that is just Cat Noir, and I just had to draw him. I actually did start off this sketching session wanting to draw more of their civilian outfits, but I couldn't pass up on this pose. It just screams Cat Noir. There is actually a Cat Noir / Adrian redesign video in the work. The art is all done. I just need to do all the editing for it, and I want it to be quite similar to my ladybug video, so it might take a little bit of time. So it is coming. I am working on it. It just might take a bit of time for me to get to it. For the meantime, I can tell you a little bit about our AU's Adrian, just to put you on. In our version, Adrian actually has a huge crush on Marinette first before Ladybug, but she does not have a crush on Adrian. Boom! Reverse love square. It just makes sense. Everyone, well, nearly everyone in the fandom agrees it makes more sense the other way around compared to what they had at the beginning of the show. Just why does Marinette like Adrian? It makes no sense in the show. It really doesn't. This is definitely something we wanted to explore really early on when we first started this Miraculous Retold project. I would really like to do a reverse umbrella scene. I've seen a couple of people do it, either write about it or draw about it, and I want to have my go at it. I've got some ideas. I have a very rough script written out, but it'll have to come later down the line. Maybe a possible future video, who knows. Okay, that's all I'm going to say about Adrian and Marinette for the time being, so let's move on to another character, stepping away from the main characters for just a second, and let's draw my sibling's favourite, Luca. A fan favourite for sure, and we also have a lot of love for him. We have written him to be more involved in the story, more involved in Julica's life as well. He just sort of turns up in the later seasons and then we're like, oh yeah, Julica's always had a brother, and you're just like, when was this ever mentioned before? But yeah, I'll give him a pass. It was the early season. Again, we have a couple of ideas for Luca and also his relationship with Adrian, of all people. They may or may not know each other from a previous school that they both had to attend begrudgingly. I'm not going to say much more than that, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say about Luca for now. A personal favourite of mine, my sibling's favourite of all time. Moving on. Now that we've drawn Luca, we've got to draw the other twin, Juleka. I am personally a big fan of Juleka. She's goth, she's shy, a little socially awkward, and I relate way too much to her. Whilst I was drawing her, I started experimenting with brush opacity and thickness as well, so you might see a slight change in the sketches here. So yeah, just don't worry about that. One of the things that we wanted to experiment with the Miraculous characters is actually lots of different fashion trends, different fashion identities, that sort of thing, because there's lots of evidence of that in the show, but we want to push the envelope that a little bit further. So with Juleka, we really want to push the whole goth, look into new goth, maybe some punk in there as well, maybe a touch alluding to fashion, maybe. We'll have to look into that. But this is something that me and my sibling are both very excited about, experimenting with lots of different old fashion, bit of dark academia, preppy, all that sort of thing. All the characters will have their own fashion identity, and it's something I'm so excited to explore. Goth and grunge fashion is my sort of thing, so I'm very partial to dress Juleka in that sort of way, and I am actually very excited to draw Kagami at some point, who I did not draw in this session, but I promise I will draw in a later session. Okay, so next up is a character that is just way too fun to draw, and I have drawn a couple of times before, and that is Rose. Physically, she has probably changed the most in our AU, but don't worry, she is still our short, sweet queen, but we just changed up her style a little bit. So as I was saying before, we want to experiment with them, introduce some old-fashioned trends here and there, experiment with their fashion a little bit, and an idea that we had for Rose was actually a bit of pastel goth / decora fashion, just a bit more on the edgier style, and in our AU, this really suits our version of Rose. We also thought that this could be something that her and Juleka bonds over, them being a version of goth, which would be very, very cute. And yes, before you say anything, in our AU, they are dating. It has to happen, of course. Just another little side note, we definitely want to keep that Luca, Juleka, Rose and Ivan are all in a band together, and we feel like them all being into more old-fashioned complements this narrative, and it also gives us an excuse to draw them in more alternative fashion. Now, I don't want to hear any naysayers, nothing. Next up is one of my favourites, Chloe Bourgeois. Yeah, I know. Either you're part of the side of the fandom that loves her or the part of the fandom that absolutely hates her. But there was so much potential, and she was done so dirty in the show. There was a redemption arc right there, and it was absolutely ruined. This is something that is definitely going to be changed in our AU. I'm personally such a big fan of Chloe and how her character arc was going, and it's so sad that it got completely ruined by, I think it was season 4. It's so sad. Chloe is definitely going to be a lot more involved in our AU. She does start as a bully like she does in the show, but gradually she becomes more friendly and we learn a lot more about her. And again, I don't want to reveal too much, but I'll give you a little sneak peek into what she's like at the beginning of our story. Chloe is still going to be childhood friends with Adrian, but she is a lot more involved in his story, and she has her own backstory and a reason why she acts in a certain way towards Marinette and the other kids. But as our AU's plot continues, we start to learn more about what's happened to her and how she is actually trying to become a better person, and she is just actually a really good friend to Adrian, and how she's going to grow as a character. I'm a Chloe sympathizer, take it or leave it. I felt like I didn't do a proper drawing of Marinette at the beginning of this sketch session, so when I saw this pose, I knew I had to draw her. Not going to lie, I really struggled with the placement of the eyes and the nose on this one, but I think she ended up looking super cute. Again, there isn't really much I can say about Marinette that I haven't said in my previous video. If you haven't watched it, go and watch it. But I guess maybe I can go into a little bit more about how she feels about Adrian and Cat Noir, maybe? Adrian doesn't have a crush on Ladybug at the beginning of the show. He has a crush on Marinette. And Marinette is the other way around. She has a crush on Cat Noir, but not on Adrian. So as I said before, I think this is a much much better dynamic. It just makes more sense. Adrian is his truest self when he's Cat Noir. And Marinette, she's very cute and very endearing in her civilian life, but Ladybug gives her that confidence to be more herself, which will seep into her civilian life, like I said in my redesign video. And this is something, again, I want to explore. I want to explore their dynamic. Again, I don't want to reveal too much, but we have plans for how Adrian and Marinette are going to meet, how Marinette and Cat Noir are going to meet, how Ladybug and Cat Noir are going to meet, and how Ladybug and Adrian are going to meet. It's going to be really fun to write a reverse love square and try and make it all work, and for it to not be creepy as well. Again, referring back to my Marinette video. Okay, so moving on from humans, let's move on to Kwamis. There's not really much to redesign when it comes to the Kwamis. Some design elements don't really make sense to me, especially Tinky's frills that they have on their bum. I don't really understand this when she can have wings. There's probably something somewhere explaining why she doesn't have wings and she has these frills instead. But then Nuru has wings? Makes no sense. Anyway, I wanted to do a little sketch of Tinky and just a slight little redesign of her. She has wings, which just makes sense. And I'm gonna be honest, I do kind of struggle to draw the Kwamis. They are very strangely proportioned, very big head, tiny bodies. So I kind of made them a little bit plumper than they are in the show. It gives me more to work with, more of some shapes to work with. So I kind of did struggle with this pose for Tinky, but I think I finally got it. Like I said, I want Tinky to be kind of like best pals with Marinette's cat. I just think that'd be really cute. There are a couple of things I want to change in Tinky's personality. She's sort of like Marinette's Jiminy Cricket in the show, always telling her right from wrong, when Marinette is meant to be a superhero and meant to be able to make these decisions and choices by herself. I get having a mentor, but it's always just Tinky telling her that she's done something bad, and Marinette needs to kind of figure this stuff out on her own and not have a little bug in her ear telling her right from wrong. You know? I still want Tinky to be super encouraging, and I think she would be a way to help Marinette with her own self-confidence and try and help her build herself up. Keep reminding her that I chose you to be Ladybug for a reason. I can see your potential. You just got to realize it. You know, the whole superhero power cliche thing that always happens. As we move on to Plag's little drawing here, I want to explain our idea for Plag and Tinky's relationship. It's not really explored in the show, but they've been around for thousands of years, and if I'm not mistaken, it is hinted that they have some sort of relationship together, maybe lovers. It's not very clear, but that's one thing I do want to make clear in our AU, that they are lovers, sort of predestined to be together, that sort of thing. You know that Plag in the show has this love for cheese. He still has that in our AU, but he also feels the same way about Tinky. And actually, we kind of thought maybe Plag is the one to give Adrian the idea of the nickname Bugaboo, because that's what Plag calls Tinky. I don't know, we thought that was quite cute and funny, just very sweet. To be fair, we don't really want to change that much about Plag. He's still a bit more laid back than Tinky. Isn't really that bothered about fighting and that sort of thing. He just wants his cheese and just to like have a chill and good time. That's really it. But that he actually has a very strong sense of loyalty. He prizes that over everything else. That's what draws him to Adrian, because Adrian's very loyal to his friends and to his family. Again, I will reveal more in the Adrian redesign video. Okay, and the last sketch of this session is actually going to be Pollen. Yeah, a bit of a weird one to end on, but it's just what I felt like drawing at the time. Now, I've got to say the Bee Miraculous and Queen Bee as a superhero are my favourites from the entire show. They're just so good, and I wish we got to see a lot more of them. I think Pollen is just such a cute design with her little blue scleras, and so cute. Again, I wanted to just do a tiny little redesign on her by giving her wings and giving her a bit more of a fluffier coat than she has in the show. She has a little bit of fur on her front, but I just wanted to make it more poofy. I don't know, this was just really cute, and it's exactly how I wanted to finish this session, at least this page, because I have a little surprise. As I was sketching this, Shadybug was announced, and my god, my little 14-year-old emo heart could not take it. I kind of love this and kind of hate it at the same time. I really don't like Marinette's design. I just think it's a bit over the top, except for the pink streak in the hair. I really liked that, but the rest, no, not for me. However, Shadybug, or let's be honest, Sladybug, it's just so good, so good. I love this design. I don't care that she's meant to be a bad guy. It's so good. I love this design so much. So here's a little extra treat. Here's my version of Shadybug. I might draw Claw Noir later, but we'll just have to see. As far as I'm aware, it hasn't come out yet, but probably as soon as I upload this video, it will be announced. Anyway, on that note, we've come to the end of this video. Thank you so much for listening to me ramble once again about this show and these characters that I have a love-hate relationship with. I hope this gives you a bit more of an idea of what me and my sibling are planning. It's a bit in the chaotic stage. We're just throwing stuff at the wall and seeing what sticks at this point, but we're starting to refine stuff, and that's why I wanted to start sharing this process, because this has been going on for a really long time, probably since 2020 we've been planning this. Anyway, I'm going to be posting more videos on here because it's been so much fun, and again I want to thank you once again for all the positive reactions and reception I've received from the past video. It really warms my heart. Thank you so much. If you have any feedback or even any ideas for this AU, for any of the characters, please comment them down below. I will read every single comment and will take on board anything that you say. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like what you've been seeing, and I promise to bring more Miraculous videos and more artsy videos too, so stay tuned for that. Thanks so much guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!